Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars and welcome to another of my top 10 list. Today's top 10 list is something a little bit different, a little bit fun. It is my top 10 favourite movie tough guys. Now some time ago, last year I think, I did a top 10 list of my favourite action stars. This differs from that list in the sense of this is my favourite movie tough guys, and we're not talking about the actors now, we're talking about the characters that they play. So this is my list of who I think are the toughest movie tough guys, the toughest movie characters out there. Quite a fun, interesting list to put together. I'm sure it'll spark some form of debate maybe in the comments, because I'm sure I've missed some off of your favourite. Again, this is just my perspective, just my opinion. It's a bit of fun of me looking through who I think have been like the most prominent movie tough guy characters over the years. So I do hope you enjoy this list, and as always guys, thank you very much for watching. Now there are some honourable mentions that I would like to talk about, and the three that I want to talk about are Ethan Hunt from the Mission Impossible films. Undeniably, you know, he's a bit of an American James Bond. He does well for himself, he's very good hand to hand, and he's a pretty decent movie tough guy, so I think it was important that he gets a mention. Jason Bourne, pretty legendary character, takes no crap, brilliant at hand to hand, and would hold his own against many on this list. And the next one I want to talk about is the Denzel Washington character from Man on Fire that I reviewed recently, John Creasy. He probably wouldn't have made this list if I hadn't just rewatched Man on Fire, but after watching that film it really reminded me what a badass character this was, and would, you know, very easily hold his own to many of the characters on this list. So those are the three honourable mentions that I wanted to talk about. But coming in at number 10 on my list is Indiana Jones, the legend that is Indiana Jones. We've seen him spanned over 4 movies, we're supposed to be getting another one. Tough as nails, he goes through hell physically, Indiana Jones. He always comes out on top. He's had some legendary fist fights over the years, got himself into some incredible scrapes. He always comes out of the other side battered, bruised, but alive. And you know, you'd put your money on him in most situations in regards to getting in and out of scrapes. Massively entertaining character, massively entertaining films. I know people aren't a huge fan of the 4th one, I understand that, but the character of Indiana Jones is absolutely brilliant and definitely a tough guy on screen. Coming in at number 9, he had to make this list somewhere, and we're talking about James Bond here. Over 24 movies, played by numerous actors. Now the reason why I haven't put him higher on this list is that James Bond as a character usually relies on gadgets to get him through many of the situations that he finds himself in. Yes, of course, he's had some legendary on-screen fights, one hand to hand, Dave Bautista, obviously Robert Shaw in From Russia with Love, and Jaws and things like that. Yes, he's had some brilliant hand to hand fights. But he uses, generally speaking, gadgets and his intellect to get him out of scrapes, but he is definitely worthy of making my movie tough guy list. Coming in at number 8, I've put Robert McCall from the Equalizer films. I've just recently rewatched these. Fantastic films, and a brilliant character by Denzel Washington here. He's just absolutely untouchable. When you rewatch these films, especially the first one, he's just absolutely untouchable. He's cold, he's calculated, he's organised, almost on an obsessive level. He's got almost obsessive compulsive disorder in regards to how he does these things. Really fantastic character, really cold-blooded, really lethal, and I think he deserves to make it on this list. Coming at number 7 is Martin Riggs from the Lethal Weapon films, played brilliantly, of course, by Mel Gibson. Over 4 movies, they keep threatening to make another one. I would be interested to see what they do with these characters now at the age they are at. But especially the first Lethal Weapon, when you really saw this unhinged character of Martin Riggs. Really good, and then mad eyes that Mel Gibson does, especially in the first one, that you do see consistently throughout the Lethal Weapon series, the brilliant fight he has with Gary Busey at the end of the first one, and then throughout the rest of the films as well, you continually see him being completely badass and hard as nails. So a really fantastic character. Coming at number 6, John McClane, played again obviously brilliantly by Bruce Willis over 5 movies. Well, what can you say about John McClane? He's not the hardest man out there in the sense of, you know, in a fight, but he never gives up. John McClane, he never ever stops, never gives up, continues fighting. He's got the heart of a lion. He's very resourceful, and generally speaking, he would outthink himself in any situation and get through it and just scrape through it with the skin of his teeth. But he would be alive at the end of it, and you know, bad guys would be lying around all over him. Legendary movie tough guy. Coming in at number 5, the legend that is Harry Callahan, Dirty Harry, played incredibly by Clint Eastwood over 5 movies. What can you say about Harry Callahan? For me, the ultimate on-screen cop, for me anyway, personally. He just did not take crap from anybody. He did things his own way, fought against the system in every single film that he was in. He did it with wit and charm, and his zero tolerance to criminals was just absolutely legendary. And I think Harry Callahan is easily one of the greatest on-screen movie tough guys. Coming in at number 4, John Wick. I think what Keanu Reeves has done with this character in this franchise is second to none, really, at this stage in his career, to create this legendary character that is John Wick. It's just wonderful how they built him up in that first film, that speech that guy gives about him killing the guy with a pencil, and the sheer fear that mob boss has in regards to hearing the name of John Wick. They've continued to build his legend over 3 movies, a 4th one coming. His sheer will gets him through any situation. A fantastic movie tough guy. Coming in at number 3, he might have only been in 1 movie unfortunately, but John Matrix from Commando, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, is just what an absolute legend he is. He just absolutely kicks ass in that film. You can see numerous videos on YouTube of the kill count on this movie, and it's just really entertaining to watch. It's a fantastic film, one of the greatest action films of the 80s and stroke of all time, and it is just a shame that we never ever got a John Matrix. We never saw this character in a sequel. It really is a crying shame, but it's the strength of this character why he's so high on this list just after 1 movie. Coming in at number 2, again, we've only seen him in 1 movie unfortunately, but who's going to deny that Dutch in Predator, played again by Arnold Schwarzenegger, was not like the ultimate macho movie tough guy. Wow. You see him kicking ass at the beginning of the film, taking out these people in the jungle that he's hired to take out, and then the Predator takes out his team, and then he goes one-on-one with this Predator. We're talking about a guy here that gets the best of an alien that likes to hunt humans for a hobby. Ultimate hard ass, ultimate movie tough guy. Great stuff from Arnie. And number 1, I personally was really torn between putting Dutch from Predator and John Rambo and swapping them round, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, you have to put Rambo at number 1. Just look at what he's done in the movies. The guy is relentless. He's murderous. He's absolutely skilled beyond belief. Shows no mercy when he doesn't, when he has no choice. And he's just count how many people he's killed up over the years in his movies, and you'd fill a football ground. Completely a legendary character, and for me the ultimate movie tough guy. So there you go guys, that is my top 10 favourite movie tough guys. A really fun and interesting list to do, not an easy one to do. I'm hoping that you guys in the comments will fire up lots of other ideas of people I may have missed. There was many others that I considered, but ultimately I think you would probably agree that everybody that made my top 10 certainly would, you put all them characters in a room, with a few weapons, and let's just see who came out on top. And I think the ones that were near the top of the list would do particularly well, I think. So yeah, a really fun list, guys. Don't forget to give me some suggestions in the comments for top 10 lists, and I will of course consider them. I will probably at some point in the future do a female version of this list, like my top 10 female movie tough girls, not guys obviously, going forward. So thanks for watching everybody, and of course I will be back with plenty more content on the channel very, very soon.